Testing only. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. End of test.
Get around and grab those vehicles, start getting the tables and send us straight into CP. Morning, sir.
Good morning.
Jockey.
No.
I carry 41 flags over. All
Okay. Turn the flags up, pull it tight for him.
The choir, if I'm right there, I've got the paper with me, and it's positioned in the centre of the ground before you come on. Which is your time, 10:35. All right?
Try and make the Crockland charge anticipate, but not meeting up. Okay, in other words, if he can slow the convoy right down until this last one gets out of the way, then he comes out.
Go.
It's 3-0 Alpha Left. One goes to 3 and 2 goes to 4
Yeah,
and so
exactly,
on.
that's right.
Well, the preparations are almost complete. As a physical education branch, we've worked with outside bodies, with the Army, the Navy, and television channels. And in spite of today's weather, your preliminary planning is the best I've seen. But above all, let us not forget that tomorrow, a group of children will see the Queen.
What will you put in place? You want to abolish the Queen?
I think we can stand on our own 2 feet now and try and make our own way in the world without sort of any supervision from Mother Britain.
Whatever system of government you have, or whatever system of government that a country adopts, there's always going to be some oligarchical group, some group that is going to not monopolise, but is going to have a bigger amount of control than any other group. Whichever sort of government you have, that's the way it's going to happen. And we can't get away from the fact that it'll never be a sort of one-for-one basis. It'll always be a group who have selected, who have more power, who are going to overrule everybody else.
We're just going to put approximate marks for you every now and then, a backline.
And if you go and say to everyone, all right, we've abolished the government, we've abolished the monarchy, you can go and do whatever you want, you can be the government, you're going to have complete anarchy.
Personally, I see the relevance of the monarchy in Australia as merely a traditional figurehead. I just think that she is a good thing.
All right, so why doesn't Australia have a unique tradition? Why does it have to borrow someone else's? You can still get rid of the Queen and still have a tradition, can't you? A unique Australian tradition.
Why are we knocking the Queen? Because she's a traditional figure.
Because she's a British traditional figure.
She's not of Australian tradition. So is Parliament. We inherited that from the British, didn't we?
But we've moulded it to suit us.
excitement that is stimulated by the visit is a really good thing for people, for old people, for young people, and for, well, anybody else who likes to go along.
Oh, it livens up the city. The city's essentially dead most of the time. When the Queen comes, there's a lot of excitement and happenings going on.
People need a monarchy too much.
Oh yes, but not part of the parliamentary system.
The monarchy would provide a check, a balance, a safeguard. It is used with the greatest amount of insight and clarity and impartiality into the situation.
Do you believe that they do represent impartiality?
Yes, because they haven't got a vested interest. How is the monarchy going to affect Australia and Australian attitudes in the future? To become a republic, we would necessarily have to have constitutional change. And this would involve the removal of all references in our constitution to the Crown. Before that kind of situation would even be relevant, there would have to have been a major change in Australian political attitudes. And this is where I think the whole question of the monarchy and the Republican debate is important. And when we're considering this point, we've got to look at the physical changes in Australia, the population changes, the ethnic groups and so forth. These people are coming to Australia with no associations previously with the monarchy, and especially the British monarchy.
Which is another point, and look how they take to it.
The monarchy acts as sort of an escape release as well. I mean, we've had fairy tales all in the past. We've had somebody to look up to. And really, there's much more to it than the political aspect. There's a sort of
sociological aspect to it. The pageantry that's associated with the monarchy, the parades and the fanfares, all these kind of things, it's something that the people have started to look forward to. It's a form of escapism. It's like an escape valve for steam to be let off.
Say we rely on the British monarchy as our tradition. Perhaps that's just to make up for our own embarrassing lack of culture.
I think we do need tradition, and we do need some sort of security to live on. We do need something to sort of be able to say, yeah, well, we have got a past, even if it's somebody else's. Isn't it better that we have the Union Jack on the flag rather than a can of beer?
those people travelling on trams will exit through gate number 1, which is over here on the right hand of the dais as you face. Gate number 1. All train travellers will leave by gate number 2.
We could change to a republic would mean a change in Australian attitudes, and for that to come about there'd have to be a great deal of personal discussion about the pros and cons conducted on a national, on an individual level. Then we've got the chance to shape a new identity.